Pattern drafting is the lazy way to make clothes. And I get it. It might sound ridiculous to some of you because, wait a moment, pattern drafting is that serious thing. It's really difficult. It's really advanced and complicated. I disagree. The thing about pattern drafting is that you don't have to be cracking a new design every single time. Your only goal is to crack the blocks once, to understand how your body translates into your custom blocks, because guess what? Those blocks are at the base of every single pattern you can think of. When you keep buying those ready sewing patterns, you are buying someone else's blocks. Well, actually, they're not even based on real people. They're based on some generic, in-between, standardized table of size thing that many of you will be struggling to pin yourself in. For example, every time, just for fun, I'm checking where do I belong on those standard measurement tables, I find myself in between 4 or 5 sizes. Make it make sense. The purpose of mass production is create something that should work for kind of average idea of a woman. I am not an idea of a woman. I want my clothes to work for my body, not the other way around. I cannot imagine sitting, scrolling internet, looking for a pattern that maybe resembles what I want to create, ordering it or going to the shop or whatever. How much time is that? And then when it arrives, I'm supposed to sit and scratch my head figuring out, how do I stretch this in between my 5 sizes? How do I make this work? And then I copy it and I do a great job having my perfect seams, and I try it on and it doesn't work. Surprise? Of course not. Why would it work if it was not based on my body? And I can go to another brand and buy another pattern and repeat the same process again and waste days of time to only discover that it doesn't work again. And the worst part is that then I might start spiraling in my head thinking that something must be wrong with my body, because these people who design professional patterns, they must be doing it right. Something must be wrong with me. Maybe I stitched it wrongly. Maybe I didn't understand the instructions. Maybe it is indeed my body. This, to me, sounds like the worst nightmare. To spend hours making something that doesn't even fit me in the end. What a waste of time. So instead of this never-ending guesswork and outsourcing that design part, I have cracked my body. I've learned how my body works. What are my measurements? What are my proportions? What are the lengths here and there? How do I like my fit? How do I want this or that garment to work on me? I have all that information about myself. And it doesn't matter if my body changes, because I know how to find that new information when I need to. Every time I want to design a garment, I don't have to figure out my body once again. I just start designing. And because I know that some of you will still not believe me, I took today's project as an opportunity to show you exactly how long it takes to design a brand new pattern. Right now, I'm working on a really beautiful design that requires an underdress, kind of like a camisole style one. The block I'm using here is my sleeveless bodice block. And getting this right did take some time. I made several tests, I changed things, I tried them on, I looked at what was happening, and then I tested again. Because there is no ready blueprint for my body. Nobody can hand me a set of measurements and magically know exactly how my shoulder sits, where my bust is, how the volume is distributed, or what happens when I move. That information has to come from the actual body. So yes, creating a really good block for yourself involves testing and multiple adjustments. But every test teaches you something. You are not trying random corrections until something looks acceptable. You are gradually building an accurate record of your own body. And once I got this one right, it became mine. This is my body translated into a bodice block. 14 minutes. And I was not rushing, I was not performing, I was not trying to impress you. I thought it would be maybe 20-25, but with the stuff falling off the table, with thinking time, 14 minutes to design a pattern from start to finish. And the best part is that I don't have to wonder whether or not it fits. I know it will. And if something is a little bit off, I will know exactly what to do to correct the fit. And I know that you want to see what I've just done there, but I can't show it to you yet. This is something very special, and I promise you I will make a video about it. But I won't leave you empty-handed. Let me show you how I designed a pattern for this beautiful dress using my custom jersey blocks. How to design a pattern for a fit and flare jersey dress where the top is a tighter fitted tank top and then the skirt is flaring from the waistline. I'm starting with my dartless bodice blocks that I use for jersey. I have different blocks for different stretch factors. For this specific dress, I'm using my 80% stretch factor blocks, which means that all my horizontal measurements have been reduced down to 80%. The first thing I do, I copy my blocks as they are to the new piece of paper. This is a summer dress. I want it to be more open. First of all, I will reduce the size of my shoulder, this much from the neckline and a little bit more from the armhole. So this is now my new shoulder. Next, I want my neckline to be a bit lower. Let's say something like this. I draw a new neckline. I want to drop down my armhole a little bit, let's say like this, and I connect it to my new shoulder. These blue lines are my new front pattern, but before I cut it out, I want to use it to redesign the back. So I go to the back and right away I can mark how much I'm lowering my armhole by, and then I go to the shoulder. I just copy my front shoulder. And now I can work with the back. I would love to drop down my neckline a little bit, and I want to make a kind of deeper cut armhole. So let's say till here, but sporty looking. There. And now I'm ready to cut out my patterns. First, I stitch my shoulders and then I measure the full length of my neckline after it's all stitched. And I take 20% roughly of it to make the trim. It depends on the fabric, of course. For 100% cotton, it's quite often about 20%. And then I do the same with the armhole. So I stitch the side seams and then I measure the full length of my new armhole. Top is ready. And I don't actually make pattern for the skirt. I just design it right on the fabric. I measure the length of my top. What's this waist measurement? This is in scale, but let's say for the sake of experiment, it's 15.5, let's say 15. Half of my waist is 15, which means that the full waist is 30. If I want to make the skirt with 3 panels like this, kind of A-line, 3 of them, each top needs to be 10. 3 times will come to 30. I just go to my fabric, I fold it like this. So this is now the fold, and this is the grain direction too. I decide on the length of my skirt. Let's say 15. If my entire waist here needs to be 10, yeah, in this case. But I'm folding my fabric in half, so this needs to be 5. So 5. And now I connected down to my widest possible point on the fabric. So I'm working with the width of the fabric. How much width can I possibly get? I can cut it out. See, this corner doesn't look nice. It should be like a right angle. So you can just take your fold, align it with your waistline and correct this line. Basically just going a little bit up until it hits the right angle. And that's it, that's my skirt is ready. And how you attach it is up to you. 3 panels, I usually have this one in the front. So I have 2 seams in the front and there'll be 1 seam on the back. You can swap it, that's up to you. You want to add a little stabilizing tape at the bottom of your bodice. You basically measure the length of your entire waistline and you cut a tape maybe 5 centimeters shorter and you stretch this tape evenly on the wrong side. Kind of add an extra layer of strength so that the heavy skirt is holding to more than just 1 layer of fabric. So yeah, from these basic blocks we designed a brand new dress pattern and you can put it together in a couple of hours easy. If you keep buying ready patterns and you keep thinking there must be a better way to make clothes, there is. And if you would love to learn pattern drafting in a clear, structured way, then that's exactly what we do at Arkdefo. All the links below this video. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend and I'll see you next Friday.